As chair of the Exeter Heritage Commission, I find that due to the state of emergency declared by the governor as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, and in accordance with the governor's energy order number 12, this public body is authorized to meet electronically. On May 14th, 2021, public notice of this meeting was posted on the town website and on the bulletin board in the town offices at 10 Front Street. As provided in that public notice, the public may access the meeting online and via phone. Please note that all votes taken during this meeting shall be done by roll call vote. Let's start the meeting by taking a roll call attendance. When each member says their presence, please indicate if there's anyone with you as well. This is required under the right to know law. Julie, can you introduce yourself first?
Certainly. Good afternoon. I'm Julie Gilman, representative from the Select Board. I am alone in my office.
Jay?
Hi, everybody. My name is Jay Myers. I'm the vice chair, and I am alone.
John?
John Gruder, planning board rep to this committee, and I'm alone in the room.
Pam?
I'm Pam Chatham, and I'm alone.
Bill?
Hi, I'm Bill Campbell, and I'm alone.
And I'm John Merkel, the chair, and I'm alone. Has everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes?
Yes.
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 I had one comment.
Yes.
Down on page 3, I don't have them in front of me right now because I'm a little disorganized. But there was a place where it said, in the third paragraph, I think I wrote it down. Julie said that the advisory.
Yes.
And I wasn't sure what that referred to.
I've got that here also.
Oh, good.
And it says, once they're talking about the Heritage Commission, what is the Heritage Commission and what blah, blah, blah. Once they are notified that something is going to be torn down, the neighborhood does not like it. Who can do anything about it? Julie said the advisory, period. Now that's not even a sentence. Okay, Julie said that, whatever. Well, let's just leave out that phrase. Julie said that the biggest thing the Heritage Commission can do is to call a public hearing if we feel a demolition out of place. So if we just leave out that phrase, Julie said the advisory, then the paragraph makes sense.
I probably did stumble over my words, but yeah, it didn't make sense.
Okay.
Okay. Is there any other comments?
Yeah, I'm going down right below what we just did. John asked if there were any more questions. John said, at 110 High Street, it looks like there's a lot of progress. John said that as to 110 High Street, there is a lot of progress, period. Okay, and just below that, Julie said there is a piece of legislation that has made it through the House and Senate, and she worked with Pat
Abrami, Abrami.
Okay, I was wondering about the spelling. And I think it means municipally owned property, but to municipally or town-owned property is what we're talking about.
Yes.
So just change that one word, and then I'll be happy.
Okay.
One other thing on page 3, third full paragraph. Something is getting a legal review on how this would duck, D-U-C-K, I think you mean maybe dovetail?
Oh, the ducktail. I like the ducktail. It's supposed to be a dovetail.
It is.
Although I like the duck. I think that's cute.
Yeah, well. there may be a ducktail too.
Okay.
Did you get that, Liz?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other comments?
No, Mr. Chair, I move to approve the minutes of what date?
April 20th.
April 20th.
As amended.
I'll second that. Well, either way,
Right.
Pam can.
All in favor?
Aye.
John?
I'll abstain. I wasn't here.
Oh. Jay?
Aye.
Bill?
Aye.
Pam?
Aye.
Did I get everybody?
Yeah. Julie says aye.
Julie says aye. Okay. All right. Thank you. Maura can't join us today, unfortunately. So there's no news on the Black Heritage Pocket Park yet. That she'll be getting back to us with that. In regard to the Park Street, the Heritage area, there's a Zoom meeting tomorrow night with the participants. And Maura has put together 3 pages, which I will forward to you after this meeting. I'll forward to you. Asking questions, yes or no, and surveying essentially whether people are in favor of this or not. So we will have that probably in the neighborhood hands by the end of next week or this week, possibly. We'll see how the meeting goes tomorrow night, but we're getting there.
Good.
Do we all have invitations to that meeting?
You're welcome to be there.
Okay.
I have the link for it. I can, if you want to join it, I can forward you the link to it.
Well, I was just wondering if it would be good to be there to hear everything, or maybe we should just watch and not look like we're putting pressure on the group.
I'd wonder about that maybe they feel if 3 or 4 members of the commission were there, they might feel a little intimidated. Some of them won't, I know. They speak up pretty well.
Yeah, I think I'll do that. I think I'll just watch and see what is said.
Yeah, there a couple of them were pretty adamant that they think that this should be a neighborhood thing. There's been conversation about if the town gets to vote on it, they could vote differently than what they're anticipating. So it's a little sensitive area, but it's not something that we can't overcome. But there's a few of them that can't get past little details, and they don't see the big picture yet. Hopefully, we're going to be able to bypass that. Does anybody else have any questions about the neighborhood heritage area?
If you don't mind, I reading the minutes. I haven't talked. There's some talk about there what we've done as far as planning board, informing the planning board, and I haven't done much except to let them know that was in something that was being worked on. Our last meeting a week and a half ago was canceled, and I wasn't at the one before that, so I haven't really seen anyone to give me any other update. But it sounds like from reading the minutes that there's at least some positive movement in the neighborhood. Is that safe to say?
Yes, it's safe to say that there's some positive movement. Whether it's significant enough, John, we don't know yet.
Okay. So what do you want me to? What do I tell them?
Let's find out.
Go ahead.
Let's find out after this survey is sent out.
Okay.
And we'll get enough feedback where we can say whether we want to pursue this or not.
Okay, that's fine. Just let me know. I'll do it.
Okay.
Yeah, John, I did have a question of John about the planning board, because that did appear in the minutes last month about us, or, the planning board getting word that this is taking place. So I guess my follow-up question, John Gruder, is what was the initial reception to what you said? Hey, this is happening. This is coming our way. Did anybody have a question or kind of react to that, or?
I would say not really. No, just it was several months ago now, and I don't think anyone was all excited or it was negative either. I just call and that was it, and get back to us when you've got something, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But when the time comes, if we, the planning board has to get involved, it won't be a problem.
Fair enough. Yeah. Good. Thanks.
All right.
Well, I will tomorrow night at 5:15 is when the Zoom will be probably available for you guys to watch it if you want to.
Okay.
John, is it that same cohort that was talked about in the last minutes? There's a sort of a nucleus of participants. Has that grown since, or has it stayed pretty much the same?
Oh, there's been other participants that are not part of that core group. So there has been some other people that do listen in and participate in questions. But there's, I forget how many it is, 8 or 9 that constitute that group right now. But there may have been like 13 or so members last month, some of which were just more interested in the process and learning what was going on. So the interest is slowly growing, which is good, but it's still getting past all the details. There are a lot of concern about the restrictions, demolition and mentioning clotheslines, and there are all sorts of things that people are getting hung up with, that we got to kind of get past.
Yeah, it's sort of like a charter commission where once the first group or second group that's going to be presenting to the planning board, the first group, which is forming or maybe it's that one, that group can decide what things belong in the neighborhood charter. So, flagpoles and clotheslines can be left right out because that's not necessary. And in fact, clotheslines are a good thing. So why would we want to? And they're a natural thing for any neighborhood. So I think that's a message that needs to get across, that we're not adopting that manual whole cloth, that we can we can choose the items that we have concern about.
Yeah, what was inserted I'll forward you what we have after this meeting, but there's a preamble that states what the mission intent is. Mm-hmm. And it appears right at the head of the document, the survey document. And hopefully it will allow them to vote yes and no on almost everything that they're concerned with. So the questions that have come up over the past months, they're put to favor or not favor, so we'll see. And then there's the big one. Are you in favor of the concept of this? So we're making headway.
Good.
Okay. Moving along, we are to have election of officers.
Yes, indeedy.
The smell.
Well, we can vote for Maura to be something.
I think she already is doing quite a bit.
Maura has volunteered to stay the treasurer again.
Good for her.
And I would very much like to nominate Jay as chair.
Yeah, I think it is time for you to rotate off. We have it's not written in any of our ordinances or rules of procedure, but I think something that the select board is going to adopt is a term, not a term limit, but but to have somebody who's been a regular member for X number of years to rotate down to alternate. Given that we have no alternates, John, you're just going to be rolled off of being chair. But I will second your nomination for Jay. If you will accept it, we'd be very pleased.
Yeah, I'll accept it. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It will look so great in your obituary.
Let's say his resume. Wouldn't that be a little better?
Hopefully that obituary is a long time coming.
Yeah.
But yeah, I appreciate the nomination, and John, you certainly shouldered a lot of this in the time that I've been here. So I'll be glad to take it over.
Well, I think that you and I should get together, and I can go over the files that we've got and get you up to speed as to procedurally and so forth.
Let's officially vote him in.
Yes.
Yeah.
I move to I nominate Jay Myers as chair of the Heritage Commission.
Second.
Bill, are you in favor?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Pam?
Yes.
Okay, and we got Julie and
Yes.
myself as well. Good. Look forward to it. Do we need any other officers?
Well, do we need a vice chair? I would
Yes.
nominate John for that.
Which John?
John Merkel.
Thank you.
Put him back in, not let him get too far away.
Yeah. I will second that.
Okay.
Well, Jay, it's your time to take the roll call.
All right, I'll give it a try here. Bill
Yes.
and Pam,
Yes.
Julie,
Yes.
John Gruder.
Yes.
All right, so passed,
Okay,
so elected.
thank you. Thank you very much. That was Jay to take over now, or?
Sure.
Yes.
Honestly, I'm not even sure what steps I need to take over.
Do we need to formally elect Mara, or does she just stay there?
No, we should actually formally do that.
Yeah.
I'll move to nominate Maura Fay as treasurer to the Heritage Commission, or as to put in place.
Is there a
Second that.
Second.
Jay, in favor?
I'm in favor, yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Pam?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
And Julie?
Yes.
Okay. We're all set now. We got to,
Technically need a clerk. Although we have Liz taking minutes, we need a clerk.
I'll do clerk.
Sometimes when a grant is written, they ask for the clerk to verify it, even though they're not the ones that administer it. I just had to do one.
Well, I make a motion that we elect Pam as clerk.
Second, if Pat will take it.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Good. Jay,
In favor, yes.
Julie,
Yes.
Pam. Oh, you can't vote Pam, right?
Yes, she
Yes, you
can
can.
go for herself, sure.
John?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, did we get everybody?
I'm a yes.
Yes, okay, good. All right. I sent everybody, once in a while, we get these notifications from the state of New Hampshire where there's usually federal money being done on resources within the town. Section 106 requires that the state of New Hampshire gets approval or seeks notification of work that's scheduled to be in progress. And it includes historical resources and archaeological resources. And in this case here, they're planning on replacing a culvert, I guess, over on the Newfields Road, which I don't think really has much to do with anything historic. There may be some archaeological pieces that will be taken, just to make sure that there's nothing historically important being disturbed in the soil. But we have to respond to this, not immediately, but probably within the next several months. And
that's a request from DHR?
No, this came directly from Department of Transportation.
That's interesting because they also need to pass that through the Division of Historical Resources, I believe.
I think they do.
I would wait until that we get that request.
Yes. Yeah, we can do that.
What do they actually want us to do? I mean, we can't say, no, you can't fix the sewer line.
No, but we can comment on any historical features that we think need to be preserved or returned to their, like say they're digging and they find a Native American grave. We can make the recommendation that it be replaced, put back in place when the work is finished. That's an extreme example. I don't know that we'll find anything like that along Newfields Road, but that's anything of a historic nature is being disturbed, we can comment on it. We wouldn't necessarily stop it, but like the Great Dam removal, we got input and whatever that's called.
They might find old implements of some sort.
They're not digging a new culvert. I believe they're just replacing one.
They're replacing it, yes.
So there shouldn't be a lot of disturbance of what's there.
No, I think that they're not even going to open up the road. I don't think. I think they're going to bore it through.
No.
I have a question. Did any of you get a survey request from Amy Dixon at DHR regarding how the certified local governments are working?
No, I haven't seen it.
All right, that's something I have to forward to everybody then. I get a lot of, or not a lot, I get comments from
I'd love you to come and join me.
DHR.
I will call you when I get back.
And I'll forward that I'll forward them to you. I thought they had been going to everybody. And there are a couple of other opportunities for not training, but informational seminars that have been happening. And I don't think we're too late for the first one that the National Association of Conservation Commissions is putting on. I think Barbara sent that link out.
024. Thank you.
Yeah, I had one for the National Preservation Organizations. Did web? In fact, I signed up for it. Maura signed up for it. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet because I was in Boston the day that it was aired. But I have that. If anyone is interested in seeing how historic boards should perform.
It's sort of like what we did with that camp that we did for the 2 days, one weekend. The HDC did it, actually. I don't think we involved the Heritage Commission, did we, Pam?
I don't think so.
Yeah. But it was a good exercise in how to actually read. We did an infill piece of architecture and reading drawings, which is a good thing.
We have to, Pam, Julie, are we in agreement on the demolition of the garage?
Yes.
1 Salem Street?
Yes, we are.
Okay. I will get the letter out to Doug Eastman and we'll be okay with that.
John, did you gave him a voice approval after the site visit? Gave Doug
No, I haven't yet.
so they took it down without any letter from us?
Oh, no, the one on Park Street?
Yeah. Which one are you?
Oh, I thought you meant the one today.
I did mean the one today.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I had a letter sent to Doug already for that one.
Yes, I think we're in agreement that there's not a loss of heritage with the garage being removed from that site.
Okay, good.
And I will add that the owners are very interested in reuse of the existing materials, which is something that we always urge, but I don't know that has ever been respected.
Julie, you want to talk about meetings, the frequency?
Yes, the select board is having a small couple of people that are going to go through the whole list of boards and committees and commissions and advisory groups that we have and look at whether they're still necessary, for one thing, and then the other is whether they need to meet monthly or every other week and things like that. And one of the things that we can decide formally if we only want to meet quarterly or every other month, I would, or only when there's demolition coming up, I would recommend or I'm having a hard time, I guess, deciding because grants come up at 2 different times a year and demolition comes up whenever. So I think that unless there's, I'm going to recommend that they leave it as a monthly meeting, but if we don't have anything that's changed since the last meeting, that we, reserve the right to cancel, which we have anyway. So I think in some cases, like right now with this neighborhood area being discussed, that we should meet. But once that is formally in the works, then maybe we don't need to meet as often. Some groups like the River Advisory Committee doesn't with the discussion about the Pickpocket Dam. these are just examples, and some of the advisory committees, like maybe Parks and Rec or like the Water and Sewer Advisory Committee, already only meets quarterly. So there are examples, and it's mostly advisory committees, and whether or not they have a project going on, or if not, they have time to figure out if they want to have an issue or bring something forward, and maybe can be brought forward in a more complete fashion than we have done with say, for example, the heritage area.
Shouldn't that be up to the commission, though? I mean,
that's what I think too, but at least we'll get the questions asked.
Certainly conservation, I would really object to anybody.
That's a land use board, and land use board have to meet monthly. So actually, this one is too. So there you have it.
I can see reviewing the committees. We did that too when I was on there, to see some of those committees tend to get out of, they've done their thing and they don't need to be there. But
yeah, the last couple of sort of advisory or very specific purpose committees that we've done do have a sunset clause once their task is given and presented and decided upon. Then they don't meet anymore. There are subcommittees that have been established that are, officially on the books, but not necessarily doing any work anymore. So I just wanted to let you know that was going on.
Okay. While we're on the subject, I'm going to be away next month. So
puts more pressure on Jay.
There you go.
Start up that agenda right now, Jay.
It does, yeah. John, can we meet sometime between now and then to get me up to speed?
sure. Yeah. We'll figure something out.
Okay.
Do we have any other business?
I can give you a little bit of infill on the Pocket Park. Renee Allen, who is spearheading the whole thing, met with Mark Layton from the Academy, because the suggested area for the Pocket Park is right next to the formerly known as the Donahue Tucker Chandela building. And so they just wanted to meet about the integration of the two areas. I don't know. I think it was just an exchange of information. Nothing came out of it as far as please relocate, or, there may be something coming out of it, but it's for further discussion with that group. And the Academy may come to the select board about it. But there's no rush, and I don't think it's going to be decided anytime soon.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
No, I don't think so. There was a piece of legislation that was aimed at creating affordable housing, that was going to form a committee with lots and lots of people on it, but it was to, and that included a heritage, actually the state preservation officer, and the whole thing was just to be advisory and offer grants to towns that want to do update their master plan, or go further and have a project that they want to preserve or reuse or something like that. And the part that the state preservation officer would be involved in is when an historic structure is involved, and what kind of changes might be associated. Oh no, it was for this body would have funding that they could give grants out for these kind of things. And one of them was for town survey of historic buildings. And it looks like, because the certified local government grants is federal money, and prohibit us from doing matching grants with other federal agencies, that this one could be, this one that was proposed would be state funds that we could use as matching funds for a CLG grant and let us have a larger amount of money to do our surveys faster. However, that was not well favored by in a partisan breakdown, and that section of one bill got crossed out. So we'll have to wait till next year. But that's the state update. The bill I did with Patrick Abrami passed the Senate, so it's just up to the governor to sign it.
Is that likely to happen?
It is a very harmless bill, and it is well, it's harmless to people who want to preserve things. It really gives some. There was something that happened in Rye. A church was torn down, and something happened in Stratham. And these were acquisitions or sales that were done not in a public hearing, or the town, just the select boards just decided we don't need that, let it go, without having any input from anyone that has knowledge of historic features of the town or the heritage of the town. And in Stratham's case, they do have a heritage commission who was not consulted, and the building was gone. So this piece of legislation would allow for anybody that's involved in conservation or preservation, including conservation commissions, to provide a report or input formally to the select board before they go ahead with the sale or demolition of a historic building. So that the governor just has to sign it. I don't know what the status of that is yet. There's not much danger of that happening here, but in other towns with smaller governments, it does.
Is there any other business? No?
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay.
All in
Jay?
favor? Is there all in favor of adjourning?
We still have to do a roll call.
John Merkel?
Yes.
John Gruder?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Pam?
Yes.
And Bill?
Yes.
All right.
All right. Thank
So
you.
adjourned.
Thank you.
Jay, you want to stick around just for a second?
Sure, that'd be great.
Okay. Bye-bye.